guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Ashley and I own a small business over on Etsy called Simply Cozy Treasures, where I make a lot of handmade accessories for your cozy lifestyle. Mainly book sleeves, crocheted items. So I guess I sew book sleeves, I make wristlets, mesh market bags, bookmarks, magnetic bookmarks, sublimation bookmarks. I make tumblers. Everything kind of has like I would say a bookish theme, sort of, but a lot of stuff is like not necessarily bookish related. It's cozy things is really what I wanted to go with. So it's Simply Cozy Treasures. Tagline is handmade cozy. But yeah, so I am coming back on today to make a confession to you all. Normally, during these videos, I try to film throughout the week to make it more of like a, I guess, week in the life kind of thing. And recently, I think you've noticed that there's just been a couple of my uploads where it's just like me doing one specific thing. And yes, that one specific thing, depending on the project, could span multiple days. I also realize in a lot of my vlogs, I don't ever get to the point soon enough. So I'm trying to make sure that I do that. Anyway, this week, as I had stated in last week's vlog, my whole plan this week was to is to bust out my little candle maker that I have and finally use it. But this week had other plans. I had little to no energy this week, and I just honestly felt terrible. I didn't get a full-on sickness, but I just was incredibly tired for some reason. Pretty lightheaded for some reasons. So I just decided that, we're just going to pivot this week and I'm just going to chill because life happens, right? So I decided to basically take this week and just like recover. I don't know what was happening, but I guess my body just decided that I needed to do that. So, but that to be said, this week gave me an opportunity to actually look into some things that I've been trying to do for a while. So maybe it was a subtle, hey, you're excited about this, why don't we give it a try, because now you don't have the energy to be, beat bopping around in your studio. So while I was sitting and melting into my couch, I was like trying to figure out, as the seasons are starting to change, we're moving into like the warmer-ish months, spring's like right around the corner. So I was like, nobody's gonna be wanting beanies and headbands per se, or scarves. So I was like, but I am absolutely addicted to crocheting right now, and I don't need to keep making the plethora of mesh market bags that I do have. So I challenged myself this week to try something new. So what I want to show you guys is kind of like what I came up with, and I'm actually really, really, really excited about it, and I hope that you guys are too. But I am going to show you the good, the bad, and the indifferent with it. So the very first thing I'm going to show you is my prototype. This was my test run. This was like, it didn't come out, is really what I'm saying. And I just wanted to show that because this is the real side of me trying to do stuff. And I, didn't have the energy to film it. So in that regard, I kind of feel bad about it. There's no B-roll footage of me like making these things, but I have them and I want to show them to you, and I'm very excited about it. So without further ado, this is my first attempt, so laugh with me if you want. I have since perfected it, but this was I have figured out how to make book sleeves or e-reader sleeves out of yarn. So like this one is obviously not very good, like let's just acknowledge that, it's okay. I was trying to figure out the whole stitch pattern here, and like I have no idea what happened here. It got all sorts of wonky, right? But this was the attempt. This was the first attempt. And I was like, well, that didn't go well. So I tried again. And then this one is the most complete one that I'll show you, but I've already decided that I don't really want to go with it. I do, okay, adjacent, yes, but there's some things I'm changing with it too. So attempt 2. And this one does look like it's absolutely finished, like this is a completed sleeve, and it truly is. And it's got the little button on it, and this comes over the top and hooks on here to keep your Kindle or your Kobo inside. It's got my little Simply Cozy Treasure branding tag on it, and it looks nice. I will tell you, because I I'm a bad YouTuber, didn't bring my Kindle in here to show you. This does not stretch enough for me. Like when I think of a book sleeve, I want it just to slide right in, right? I don't want to have to like manipulate and or fight the product to slip it in. So even though this one, yes, is the most complete one that I have, and it does fit my Kindle, it just stretches. I have to fight a little bit to get it in there. It does fit the whole way, but there's some things that I wanted to change. So this was my second attempt, and it obviously looks a lot better. There's still some stitch weirdness going on that I was like, okay, I kind of want to figure this out. And then I decided, so my little leather tags that I have here, I make these here. I haven't shown it to you guys because it's just, it's a thing that I do in the background. It's not necessarily very exciting and it's really hard to film. I have a laser engraver, or a laser cutter machine over in the other room, along with a couple 3D printers, but those are more my husband's hobby things. I haven't really broken into like the 3D printing world, and stuff like that. But the laser engraver I do use from time to time, and I've found making these tags is incredibly easy. But the change that I'm going to have from this book sleeve to the next one is I want to make on my laser machine, basically do the same thing here, but I want to be able to put the two dots here, or the two holes, so that I can sew them on, because what I was concerned about is that there's the screw on the back. I didn't want you to slide your Kindles or Kobos in here and then potentially ruin the screen by having a metal screw sliding up and down on your screen. So I was like, oh, I got to change that. So I want to change that. And then the buttons, I've decided I wanted to go with just a neutral round button. Again, might play around with the idea of trying to engrave my Simply Cozy Treasures onto that button, but that's not my plan. I wanted to standardize the buttons going across, because what I didn't want to happen is that if you really, really like this with the silver button and then I have to make another one and I can't find that silver button anymore, I didn't want that to be an issue that stopped me from being able to fulfill the order for you. So that was my second one. I had the stitches down. I was feeling pretty confident with it. So the next ones that I made, I think you guys are really going to enjoy. So this is one that I made. It's the exact size. They're not finished. I will say that, because I'm still waiting for the buttons to come in, and I still need to play around with making the leather tags. Just, again, I didn't have the energy to do that this week. So that'll probably be a clip or something potentially that I do next week, getting these tags made. But this was another one that I made. This one's made with Yarn Bee, Soft and Sleek, and I think it was called Perusian Light is the colorway. Oh, I apologize. This one is from I Love This Cotton. It's called Herb Garden. If you're looking for that colorway, that one worked up really nice and I really, really loved it. This one was the Yarn Bee one. So dimensions wise, this is the size that I'm going with now. It fits my Kindle perfectly in here. It just slides in. It's great. It has just a little bit of room over the top so that when you put the button on, it protects the top part of your Kindle or your Kobo and it won't slide out. So I'm really excited about that one. The next one that I made, I don't think I've ever told you guys this. There is a yarn from I Love This Yarn that is my absolute favorite, and I can't really tell you why, other than it's just gorgeous. That's this one. This is called Sacramento by I Love This Yarn, and I don't know if it's going to pick up on the camera very well. It's got little gold fleck sparkles in it, and I absolutely love it. And I am so excited that it worked up that in this like sleeve to look exactly how I wanted it to, and it's just, oh, it's gorgeous. I love, without sounding too cliched, this yarn. I love this yarn. And then this is the size. Again, we've met the consistency now. So this was like I guess the fourth one that I made that I was really excited about. I did remake another one in the Herb Garden. So this is the actual size for the Herb Garden of I Love This Cotton. Or I love this cotton. I love this yarn in Herb Garden. So it's got that nice blue variation going on through it. And what I love is that like the colorways will all be the same, but the way the colors pool or stripe or whatever will be different. So it just gives it a little bit of more uniqueness. And I'm really excited about that. One that I did a couple of test runs with because I didn't show you guys. I did the stereotypical thing where Karen had released some new yarns, and I got really excited when I saw these colorways. I was watching another YouTuber. I can't remember the name of their channel or who they were. I think it was just like a recommended to me thing. But Karen came out with some new yarns, and I could not help myself. So I got the Sweetie Cakes. This one is in the colorway Showtime, and I loved it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is really cool. But at the time, I had no idea what I was going to be making with these. I'm probably going to make these book sleeves out of them because I was originally like, oh, maybe I can make some hats and headbands, maybe a scarf out of them. But as we transition into the different months or into the different seasons, a lot of people aren't going to be gravitating towards those items. These things you can use year round. So the other colorway, and I apologize, I should have had these set over here so I wasn't reaching and like basically kissing the camera to see you. Anyway, this is another Sweetie Cakes one. I just really liked these colorways. This one is in the colorway Water Park, and I think it's going to look really cool. I'm interested because it might stripe up as much as that other one did, and I just don't know if I'm going to like that too much, but I want to play around with it, so I want to figure it out. And then this next one is the tiramisu cake, and this one is in the colorway I think Berry Bliss, and there's a chunk missing because I wanted to show you guys this yarn before I showed you my book sleeve that I made from it. I made this book sleeve from it, and it honestly, like, I did not expect that I would like this one nearly as much as I do. I am not a pink kind of person, pink, teal, blue kind of person, but I am really excited with how this one came together. I just love it. I think it's great. I am really, really happy with this Berry Bliss Karen Cotton cake, so I'm really excited about that one. And then I failed to inform you that the very first book sleeve that I made that was terrible was made from this Karen Upside Down cake, which is another one in the colorway Pixie Sticks. And I thought this was more like Halloween-esque, so I was a little surprised when it wrapped up the way that it did. And then, so I did use a different type of yarn. I don't know if it will be something that I will use in the future for book sleeves, but I had yarn sitting around and I was like really excited because I have yarn that I'm like, oh, I would really like to see how that's going to work up. So this one is a Loops and Threads one, and you'll see that this one is just, it's a little floppy. I think it still worked up really pretty. It's got like little flecks of actual like deep navy blue in it, so it's got a nice sparkle to it. I just don't think that it will be one that I reach for to make these book sleeves out of. It will be one that I reach for to make like cup cozies and things out of. And I do have a couple cup cozies made from this yarn already up in my Etsy shop. They're really, really pretty. I really like this yarn. It's Loops and Threads. They didn't have a color name with it. It was just like a bunch of generic numbers. But I think of winter when I think of this. So yeah, this one was great. And then because of that, that's what I was working on this week. But I had some yarn left over and I wanted to test out. And I think I've told you guys before that I wanted to figure out if I could make cup cozies also. So with my leftover Yarn Bee yarn, I just made a cup cozy. This one's not finished yet, doesn't have my tag on it. Again, I think I'm gonna, on these types of things, because I don't want to scratch your mugs and things, I want to put the sewn on tags. So I think that's gonna be something that I work on like next week. But I was really excited with this. It worked up really well. I think it looks really great. I'm very, very happy with this stitch and how everything came together. wanted to pop on really quick and just let you know what I've been up to this week. I apologize if this is not going to be a very long video in regards to anything, but I just am excited about the transition to the new season. And then next week when I post up my next vlog, we will be coming back to doing the candle making. So if you're looking forward to the candle making video and the continued like exploration of different types of projects, because now that I've done this, I have a lot of ideas of things that I would really like to make, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun in terms of like potentially learning how to do some new stitches for these book sleeves. I'm just really excited about all the colorways that have now opened up to me, because for a while it's like my crochet confidence, I guess, was not very high to where I thought I could do stuff like this, but I am running on such a high from being able to like make this myself that I want to learn some new stitches and potentially like make these into these book sleeves. I did try, I guess I'll caveat and then I'll let you go. I did try to make these, I did a test run, but I ended up frogging the whole thing, so I don't have it sitting here in front of me anymore. I did try to make these a little bigger so that if you wanted to squeeze a paperback or a hardcover into it, you could. But what I found is the corners of the books just get stuck in the yarn, as you would expect. And it was just a cumbersome thing, so I have decided for now that I am not going to be making these any bigger than what they currently are, that these are just specifically for your e-readers. And I did try to make them so that they would fit your fatter, I think the Kobo Lyra is a big fat one. I think the Kobo, or not the Kobo, the Kindle Oasis is kind of a fatter one. They're yarn, so they have a bit of stretch, and then these all fit my Kindle Color Soft. So, and they fit with like it just easily sliding in, no issues on the sides, and just enough to have the thing come over the top to protect the top. So I think the Color Soft is the tallest of the e-readers. But if one of the size dimensions doesn't work for you or whatever, I will make sure when I finally post these up on Etsy to let you know what the actual width and the height of these are. I think they're, I want to say 7x6, but please don't quote me on that. Editing Ashley, if you actually measure it, please put that in here. But yeah, I'm excited about that and all the colorways that are coming. I have a lot of new ideas for some projects and things that I really want to put together. But my plan today was just to pop on to let you know, yep, I'm still here and I'm working on some stuff in the background. And next week we will jump back into hopefully doing the candle making. As you know, we say that we're going to do one thing and then eventually for some reason we just end up doing something different, which is completely fine. My plan right now, current timestamp, is that we will be doing the candle making next week. So I'm excited about that. So without further ado, I again apologize that this is kind of a shorter video. I didn't want to belabor the point with you guys, and this is kind of more of a chit-chatty thing anyway. But if there's some colorways or size dimensions that you want to get referenced or make sure that they work, just leave them in the comments below, and I will see you guys next week. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye!